Chosen one, do you feel that the reality they sell you is a prison? Do you sense that there's something more behind the gears of the world, something they don't want you to discover? That feeling, where everything around you seems artificial, a carefully orchestrated illusion, is the first clue that you are, indeed, different. Those who operate in the shadows, the hidden manipulators, work tirelessly to program you. They use every possible resource to keep you asleep, obedient, and unable to awaken to the true power that resides within you. They don't want you to remember who you really are, because you are a threat to their system. What few people realize is that this sinister engineering goes beyond what the eyes can see. They program you not only through words, media, and social networks but also through energetic and emotional frequencies. Yes, there's an invisible weapon at play, the manipulation of your mind through repetitive patterns, induced traumas, and the control of fear. They plant ideas in you that are not your own, thoughts that make you doubt yourself and feelings of guilt or inadequacy. All of it is designed to ensure that you never dare to question the narrative they've imposed on you, keeping you trapped in a system that drains your vital energy. The most powerful weapon they possess is their ability to program you to sabotage yourself. They've made you believe that you're not good enough, that you need to conform to their standards, that you must be accepted by a society that is, at its core, corrupted. Do you see how external voices try to silence your inner voice? That is no coincidence. The world we live in was designed to keep you distracted and afraid of being your true self. They know that if you awaken and reconnect with your power, your light will destroy their darkness. But I know that within you, there's still that flame. That voice that whispers, "I am more than this." And you're right. They fear the moment you finally stop doubting yourself and start listening to your own heart. They don't want you to align with your intuition, because it is your truest and most faithful guide. You hold the key to escape this prison, and it's within you. They can never take away what is yours by divine right, your connection to the truth, to the essence that transcends any programming. So, chosen one, it's time to break free. Start questioning everything, even what seems normal and acceptable. Pay attention to patterns, subliminal messages, and the energies around you. Remember, you are here to break these chains and rise above the illusions. When you stop feeding the matrix, it begins to lose its hold over you. They know this, which is why they bombard you constantly with distractions, temptations, and fears. But now you know the game. Now you can see the invisible strings they use to try to control you. And that is the first step toward reclaiming your power. Chosen one, now that you've begun to see the invisible strings they use to program you, it's time to deepen your understanding. There is a subtler and more insidious layer to this malignant engineering they employ to keep you trapped, the manipulation of your emotions. They know that as long as you remain emotionally unbalanced, you are vulnerable to their programming. That's why they heavily invest in triggering feelings like fear, guilt, anxiety, and resentment within you. These are the chains they use to blind you to your true power. Have you ever wondered why it's so easy to feel paralyzed in certain situations? Why certain words, news, or images can rob you of your inner peace in an instant? This is no coincidence. For ages, they have studied the human psyche and know exactly which buttons to press to provoke emotional reactions that weaken you. It's a meticulous game. They bombard you with crises, scandals, and disinformation to keep you in a constant state of alertness and stress. When you are emotionally unbalanced, you disconnect from your intuition and become an easy target for their mental programming. Their most powerful weapon in this realm is the manipulation of your fears. They instill the fear of loss, rejection, failure, and an uncertain future. These fears trap you in a negative spiral that makes you doubt yourself and your abilities. They use this technique to keep you small, to prevent you from seeing the infinite potential that resides within you. Fear is the chain they place around your spirit so that you don't dare to break free, so that you don't realize the world is a construct and that you have the power to shape it with your own intentions. But there is one thing they can never fully control: your power to choose. Chosen one, you must understand that negative emotions only have power over you if you allow them to dominate you. When you recognize that these feelings are merely external programs trying to destabilize you, you begin to take back control. Pause and reflect. What is truly yours? and what has been implanted by them. By doing this, you begin to untangle the knots they've created in your mind and heart. Stay alert. Your most powerful weapon against this emotional engineering is your awareness. When you become aware of your emotions and the external influences attempting to manipulate you, you begin to transcend their control. Instead of reacting automatically, you start choosing your response. This is the key to deprogramming the emotional matrix. Every time you remain calm and centered, they lose their power over you. And that's when you begin to rewrite your destiny, not as a prisoner of the reality they created, but as the true master of your own path. Chosen one, have you noticed that there's something sinister in the air? It's not just the external world they try to control, but your very thoughts. Their attack is invisible, stealthy, and they use a weapon many overlook: mental programming. They plant ideas in your mind so subtly that you believe they are your own, but they are not. They know the secrets of your subconscious and exploit them to make you willingly accept the narrative they impose. Their goal? To turn you into an automaton, someone who follows orders without question, disconnected from your own essence and your true power. You may be wondering, how can they access my mind? They use repetition, chosen one. Yes, the same technique that hypnotizes the masses is used to influence your thoughts. The media, social networks, advertising, all of these are channels they use to whisper into your mind day after day until you internalize what they want you to believe. They know that if they can dominate your mind, they can control your actions, your choices, and eventually your life. Every time you find yourself thinking you're not enough, that you must conform, or that you must live by their standards, remember, that voice isn't yours, it's theirs. The true trap, however, is that they program you to believe you are free. They offer you the illusion of choice, making you think you are making your own decisions. But think carefully, how many of those choices are truly yours? How many of your desires, ambitions, and fears were implanted in you as a form of control? They want you to worry about superficial things, to invest your energy in achieving goals that, deep down, don't nourish your soul. While you're distracted trying to meet their expectations, you're neglecting the true mission your soul came to fulfill. This is why it's essential that you learn to recognize the programming that has been implanted in you. Question the automatic thoughts that arise in your mind. Ask yourself, where does this idea come from? Does it truly resonate with who I am? Chosen one, awakening begins when you decide to take ownership of your own mind. Your mind is sacred territory, and they have no right to inhabit it. When you become aware of the external influences trying to shape your thoughts, you start reclaiming the power they stole from you. Free yourself from this malignant engineering by detoxifying your mind. Connect with your intuition, which is a channel they can never completely silence. The deeper you go within yourself, the clearer it becomes what is truly yours and what has been implanted. And remember, chosen one, when you master your own mind, they lose. They fear your clarity, your lucidity, because they know that a spirit that thinks for itself is a spirit that cannot be controlled. And that is their greatest fear, that you will discover you are more powerful than they ever imagined. Chosen one, now that you've begun to dismantle the mental and emotional control they try to exert over you, it's time to expose another powerful tactic they use to enslave you: manipulation through relationships. Yes, they aren't satisfied with programming you solely through ideas and fears. They also use people around you as agents of energetic drainage. Often, these people don't even realize they're being used, but they are unconsciously influenced by hidden forces that aim to keep you trapped in cycles of pain, frustration, and exhaustion. These are the toxic relationships they plant in your life. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to come into your life solely to drain your energy? They arrive as masters of chaos, stirring up conflicts, throwing out words that cut like knives, and creating confusion where there once was peace. This is no coincidence. They send these people to keep you in a constant state of emotional turmoil. After all, when you're focused on external conflicts, it's hard to hear your own inner voice, isn't it? That's precisely what they want, to distract you, destabilize you, and sever your connection to your intuition and the truth within your heart. Their most powerful weapon here is the illusion that you need these people to feel complete, that you need their love, validation, or approval. They know that if they can make you believe this, you'll become dependent, an emotional slave, easily manipulated by crumbs of attention or affection. They feed this narrative to keep you in relationships that drain your vitality and dim your light. They convince you that you don't deserve better, that you have no right to set boundaries. But I'm here to tell you, you are free to cut these ties. You do not have to accept anything less than what nourishes your soul. To break this cycle, it's essential to recognize the patterns they've implanted in your relationships. Pay attention to those who drain your energy and make you constantly doubt yourself. Not everyone who smiles at you has good intentions, chosen one. Some are here only to play the role they've been assigned, to keep you trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage. When you identify who these agents are and stop feeding into these dynamics, you'll see how your energy begins to expand. And with that expansion, you become untouchable to them. Chosen one, your energy is sacred. Don't waste it on those who can't see or value it. Start practicing detachment from those who keep you stagnant, who try to imprison you in a lesser version of yourself. By freeing yourself from toxic relationships, you're disarming yet another tactic they use to keep you under control. Remember, when you surround yourself only with people who elevate your vibration, they lose access to your energy field. And this is what they fear most, an awakened, unbreakable being who no longer bows to the dirty games of the Matrix. Chosen one, if you've made it this far, you already know their game is deep and devious. But there's one last veil we need to tear apart together, the programming they implant through society as a whole. They have a meticulous plan to keep you trapped in a labyrinth of illusions, and society is the perfect machine they use to achieve this. Everything around you, the institutions, the rules, the social expectations, has been carefully designed to turn you into another obedient cog in their corrupt system. They want you to believe the world is exactly as they've told you, so you never question the structure that limits you. Their greatest weapon here is the normalization of conformity. From the moment you are born, you are bombarded with behavioral patterns: what is right, what is wrong, how you must act to be accepted. You're taught to follow predefined paths: go to school, get a job, marry, buy a house, retire. But, chosen one, it's all a theater. They've crafted these routines to ensure you never awaken to your true purpose. They know that if they can keep you busy chasing the dreams they've designed for you, you'll never have the time to discover your own. Do you feel the weight of this pressure? The anxiety of not fitting in, of not being good enough to meet society's expectations? They use this pressure as a tool of control. They program you to believe that your worth is measured by status, money, and others' approval. And when you fail to meet these artificial standards, you blame yourself, thinking the problem is you. That's their trap. They don't want you to see that the problem was never you, but the system they've imprisoned you in. The truth is, you were born to walk a unique path, but they try to force you into a script that isn't yours. But now it's time to wake up from this enchantment, chosen one. Understand that the society they've built is just a grand illusion, a stage designed to limit your growth. You have the power to question, to free yourself from these invisible chains. Begin to see what lies beyond the masks, beyond the appearances. Ask yourself, what truly resonates with my soul? What makes my spirit come alive? When you start questioning this programming and rejecting the roles they've imposed on you, you begin the process of creating a reality that truly reflects who you are. Your awakening is what they fear most, because an awakened being is one that can no longer be controlled. Your greatest weapon against this malignant engineering is your authenticity. Choose the courage to be yourself in a world that constantly tries to shape you. Remember, they can manipulate society, but they can never touch the truth that burns within you. By freeing yourself from the social matrix, you not only break the spell they've cast but also become a beacon for others who are still trapped in the shadows. It's time to rise, chosen one, and live as the master of your own destiny. Chosen one, there is one final card they use to keep you chained, and it's the most deceptive of all. They have programmed you to become your own enemy. Yes, they have taught you to sabotage yourself, to doubt yourself, to criticize yourself relentlessly. This is their most insidious engineering because, by making you believe you're not good enough, they trap you in an invisible prison where the jailer is none other than yourself. This is their ultimate weapon because if they can convince you to fight against yourself, they won't have to spend energy controlling you. You destroy yourself, day after day, through your own thoughts. What they don't want you to realize is that many of those negative thoughts echoing in your mind were implanted by them. When you blame yourself, compare yourself to others, or criticize yourself for not being perfect, you're simply repeating the programming they embedded within you. They know that as long as you're at war with yourself, you'll be weakened. There will be no energy left to fight the true enemy because you'll be exhausted from fighting your own inner battles. And that's exactly how they want you, drained, confused, with your vibrations so low that you're incapable of accessing your true power. They use your flaws and vulnerabilities as weapons against you. Every time you make a mistake, they whisper in your mind, "See? You'll never be good enough." But know this, chosen one, they are lying. They know that if you break free from this cycle of self-sabotage, your light will shine so brightly that they will have no power over you. They fear the moment you begin to treat yourself with the compassion you've always sought from others. When you realize you are worthy of love, forgiveness, and success, the invisible chains they placed on your mind will begin to break. The way out of this prison is radical self-acceptance. Chosen one, you need to be kind to yourself. Understand that these negative thoughts aren't yours, they are reflections of the programming they imposed on you. Begin to observe your mind with a compassionate eye, as if caring for a wounded child. Question every self-destructive thought that arises. Ask yourself, where is this voice coming from? Does it truly reflect who I am, or is it just another attempt by them to keep me trapped? When you free yourself from the need to be perfect, when you give yourself permission to simply be who you are, you disarm the final weapon they have against you. Remember, chosen one, your true power comes from your ability to love yourself, to accept yourself exactly as you are. They can never defeat someone who chooses, day after day, to be kind to themselves. It irritates them to the point of disturbing their wicked spirits. Your Christ-like self-compassion is the antidote to their programming. When you become your own ally, you become unbreakable. And that is when their matrix begins to crumble. Because a being who loves themselves is a being who cannot be controlled. From this moment forward, choose not to be your own enemy anymore. Choose to be your greatest ally. And in doing so, you will realize they never truly had power over you. You are, and always have been, the master of your destiny. Chosen ones, your belief in your divine intuition has brought you here. If you feel you are chosen and that your energy needs protection, join this channel. Comment 444 and subscribe to the channel to receive more videos. Now, let's enter the silence.